Hello everyone. So my project this week is a little bit of a personal project because it's I ran out of pages in my little planner that I was using. So this particular book is from it's a Happy Planner brand book, but it wasn't necessarily intended to be a planner. It was more a bullet journal that I turned into a planner. I received it as a gift last year at Christmas. So I decided this year I'm going to kind of design my own. I'm going to print it out, punch out all the pages since I do have the punch there. We'll get to that in a bit. So there I was just measuring the pages, and now I'm in Photoshop designing them. Now I probably could have gotten better results on it if I had used something like spreadsheets, but I'm still really learning to design things like that with spreadsheets, so I'm not great at it yet. So I've laid out how I want the panels positioned on the page so that I can get 2 per page. Now originally I thought my paper was 8.5 by 11, but I decided I was going to use drawing paper, a 70 weight. So it's got a nice thicker page that's nice for writing on. And what I have is actually A4. No, it's not even A4 size. It's 9 by 12. And I needed it 8 3/4 by 12 is what I ended up using in the printer. I cut it down. But here I am just putting in weight and temp. So I track my temp to get a baseline temperature so that, if I'm sick or something like that with health issues, it's easier to determine if a temperature is unusual if you have like a baseline to go by, and then weight, because I'm trying to lose weight and I'm tracking that, which I've been doing that for a while. So here I've just duplicated it and moved it over, and I'm putting in some signature lines. That those thicker lines are going to go away, but where some of those are at, I'm putting signature lines so that I know exactly where I need to cut, so that I have things positioned neatly, and you won't really tell that they were both cut from the same piece of paper. I printed quite a few of these for some reason. The settings with the Photoshop print wanted to print on both sides of the paper. Didn't work for me. But luckily with my paper trimmer there, I can cut stacks of them at a time. And it didn't take me that long to do that. And so this punch will only punch 2 sheets of 70 weight paper at a time. 2. So I did quite a bit of punching here. It will also not punch chipboard because the chipboard will not fit in it. And unfortunately, that's what I wanted to use for my covers. So Nav actually ended up going to the store for me and purchasing some Scotch brand laminating sheets. They're not as thick as I wanted, so I didn't get as sturdy a cover as I wanted. Here I'm just filling in some of the dates for the next few months. And this is the cover that I designed in Photoshop. It has a quote from Shakespeare. And that quote is, "Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late." I figured planner, time quote, kind of fit. And then I just stuck my logo on the back cover there at the bottom, because why the heck not? And then I'm just going to get that trimmed. I'm going to trim the corners with my corner chomper there. So that they're rounded. In hindsight, I probably would have rounded them all the same. I did the 1/2 inch round on the outside and 1/4 inch on the inside. It didn't look the best with the 2 different size corners once it was done. But you know what? Hindsight and all that. And I wasn't going to use 2 more prints on my plan. So I'm just trimming it down. And I'll use the first one against the second one to make sure they're exactly the same size. And I really like how these laminating sheets work. It's very easy to get something done without having air bubbles or anything. And I'll put a link to the same brand and same kind that I have in the description below with the affiliate links. It will be an Amazon affiliate link. And here's where I ran into another bit of problem. And it's the issue that I have with this punch. Mainly that you can't punch anything beyond just regular paper. Not really. You could do a cardstock, but it has to be only 1 sheet at a time, which is fine. I don't really think this punch was meant for heavy duty stuff, but you can see I thought I was going to be doing good. I got the sheet went in there just fine once I got it positioned, but then it wouldn't come out. I really struggled to punch that. And the back cover actually ripped when I was trying to get it out of there. It just wasn't working for me. So just know that if you use one of those, you're likely gonna only be punching one page at a time, and don't even think about doing covers with it. So I'm just using some of my bigger rings. Now I have several different size rings. You can see the silver ones up there in the corner, and I do actually eventually switch over to the silver rings because the pink ones were just too big. I do eventually plan to add more pages, but for the amount of pages that I'm putting in at the moment, it doesn't work. So I do, after the video, after I did my recording, end up switching them out to the silver rings. But yeah, this is basically how my planner is going together. I've got my little Post-its in the back, and the little dividers there are cut from a plastic school folder. But there it is. That is my new planner. See you all next time, guys.